Alright, good morning everybody. We are here live with break 394. It is another 25 Elite combo break. And our team list for today: Broncos, John Durston; Raiders, Peter Lowe; Bulldogs, John Saade; Sharks, Lee Marschall; Dolphins, Jack Muller; Titans, Josh Ellis along with Manly; Storm, Jack Muller; Knights, Craig Milson along with Cowboys; Eels, Daryl Barton; Panthers, Joshua Younie; Rabbitohs, Peter Lowe; Dragons, Warren Stoddart; Roosters, Dean Mich; Warriors, Peter Lowe; and Tigers, Chris Keys. Alright, we are all set up and ready to go. Let's just, there we go. That should be better. We have our two boxes for last, and we have our case card. Case. Well, one of the grand finalists, number 19. Oh, hang on. Before we do that, let me bring up the chat screen. G'day, Sonia. Oh, good. G'day, Peter. Couple of Kiwis in the chat. I love it. Oh, team list is up. Broncos, John Durston today. Number 19, Patrick Carrigan in the milestone. Right, let's get these out and get into it. I'm glad I didn't, but yeah, I probably would have put money on it if it was if I had a betting app or something on my phone like that. For Panthers to win, I thought they were coming for the 5 pick, but more so hungry for that. The last record, not even the 5 pick. They're coming from the bottom of the ladder and the bottom of the 8, and yeah, that would have been pretty big for them. All right, Lee's looking forward to the USA at the end. Or are you just talking in general, Lee, just the normal Vegas cards, mate? I did read that as the USA box, but you may just be talking about the Vegas Sharks cards in general. In the reps, Lindsay Collins. Marquee, Joseph Tarpanay for the Raiders. Alexander Brimson parallel for Titans. New recruit Jamie Humphries for the Rabbitohs. Sapphire Mojo Jai Arrow for the Rabbitohs, number 12. Marcelo Montoya parallel for the Bulldogs. Marquee Valami Kickout for the Bulldogs. New recruit Zach Lomax for the Eels. Dalian Zahara Tamara for the Raiders. Clinton Gutherson parallel for the Dragons. Golden Marquee Big Papa for the Raiders. Number 53. I'm just going to hit the refresh button quickly and then bring that back up. Should be right. Luke Metcalf parallel for the Warriors. Can they follow it through? Well, that's a yeah. New recruit for Manly. Both teams are just as hungry for it, I think. Dad said the biggest question is, will Teddy Swims perform? Oh, Masters Series in the Kangaroos. Jesse Arthur's parallel for the Broncos. In the reps, Xavier Coates. Black Young Guns. I would really like to know how many of these we've pulled. Number 41, Jai Gray for the Rabbitohs. Cameron McInnes parallel for the Sharks. Peter Lowe with the Rabbitohs. New recruit Saitili Tupanua for the Bulldogs. Nico Hines in the Vegas for Sharks. Kalen Ponga parallel for the Knights. Marquee Big Tino for the Titans. Dally M, Brian To'o for Panthers. Jai Arrow parallel for the Rabbitohs. New recruit John Bateman for the Cowboys. Vegas Matthew Tomoko for the Raiders. Sebastian Chris parallel for the Raiders. In the reps, Shanice Parker. Ruby Mojo, Clinton Gutherson for the Dragons, number 5. Tigers parallel checklist. White Young Guns, Joe Chan for Storm, number 114. Tommy Gilbert, parallel for the Dolphins. Millie Elliott in the reps for Gillaroos. Brian Madison, parallel for the Eels. New recruit, Daniel Saifiti for Dolphins. And that's box number 1 done and dusted. Straight into box 2. Not bad for a first box compared to some of the last ones. Every team at least has a card in their slot, which, don't get me wrong, same as goes the other way when there's nothing in there after the first box, so that does not mean much. So let's keep going. New recruit, Jazz Tavega for Manly. Dally M. Lauren Brown for Titans. Parallel Broncos checklist. Dylan Edwards in the reps. He looked a bit heartbroken after the game. Devastated. Heartbroken, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. And Fanua Blake marquee for the Sharks. Adam Fanua Blake parallel for the Sharks. New recruit, Lazarus for Storm. Ruby Mojo, Ethan Strange for the Raiders, number 10. Jaden Campbell, parallel for the Titans. Marquee, Tommy Turbo for Manly. Golden Marquee, Tommy Turbo for Manly, number 82. Raiders parallel checklist. New recruit, Matt Arthur for the Knights. Knights in the Masters series. Lachlan Galvin, parallel for the Tigers. In the reps, Jessica Surgis. White League Sensations, Jerome Lowe for the Tigers, number 65. Bradman Best parallel for the Knights. Pink Diamond, Jessica Elliston for the Titans, number 31. Parallel, Jason Saab for Manly. New recruit, Aaron Clark for the Warriors. Vegas, Chance Nicole Klokstad for the Warriors. Thomas Duffy, parallel for the Cowboys. Marquee Val Holmes for the Dragons. Daliam Joseph Tarpanay for the Raiders. Parallel Victor Radley for the Roosters. New recruit Sanua Taruva for Tigers. Vegas Jesse Ramian for the Sharks. Ryan Top parallel for Panthers. In the reps, Keely Joseph. New recruit Herhepa for the Sharks. White Young Guns, Fletcher Sharp for the Knights. Number 8. Jack Howard, parallel for Storm. In the reps, James Fisher-Harris. And last packet for box number 2. Parallel Christian for the Dragons. Vegas Wade Egan for the Warriors. Happy Appy parallel for the Tigers. In the reps, Mitchell Moses. Marquee Liam Martin for Panthers. Fletcher Sharp, parallel for the Knights. New recruit Matty Nicholson for the Raiders. Parallel, Nico Hines for the Sharks. New recruit, James Schiller for the Knights. Marquee, Jamie Chapman for the Titans. Black League sensation. Let me double check. Definitely black. Number 34, Mitchell Barnett. Pretty sure they're green, the background on the team for the Warriors. Definitely not black, but I made you think. Lindsay Smith, parallel for Panthers. New recruit, Regan Campbell-Gillard for the Titans. Hold on to the packets. In the Kangaroos for the Masters Series, Lehe Hopawate, parallel for Manly. In the Reps, Aromi Tietzel. In the Gillaroos, Julia Robinson for the Vegas. In Vegas, Reese Robson, parallel for Cowboys. Ruby Mojo, Isaac Tago for Panthers, number 14. Jermaine Isako, parallel for Dolphins. New recruit, Marky Mark for Roosters. Sapphire Mojo, number 14. Nathan Cleary for Panthers. Actually, lost my team list. Let's bring that back up. Who had Panthers then? Daryl, no. Joshua Younie. There we go. Junior Paulo, parallel for the Eels. Marquee Big Papa for the Raiders. Dally M, Alafiana Khan Kiera for Titans. Connor Tracy, parallel for Bulldogs. New recruit, Valentine Holmes, parallel for the Dragons. New recruit, Ben Hunt for the Broncos. Daly M, Olivia Koenig for the Roosters. Keon Kolomatangi, parallel for the Rabbitohs. In the Reps, Josh Kerr. White Young Guns, Atane for the Warriors, number 114. Warriors parallel checklist. In the reps, Isabel Kelly for the Gillaroos. Pink Diamond. Number 20, Jessica Sturgis for the Roosters. Patrick Carrigan, parallel for Broncos. Box number 4. Let's go. New recruit, Saitili Tupanua for the Bulldogs. Emerald Mojo. Number 5, Ryan Pappenhausen for the Storm. Jack Muller. Tyson Frizzell parallel for the Knights. New recruit Carter Gordon for the Titans. Vegas Tiana Penatani for Gillaroos. Daly Cherry Evans parallel for Manly. Lauren Brown in the reps. Marquee Abby Church for the Eels. Parallel Sam McIntyre for the Cowboys. Marquee Apisai Coruscant for the Tigers. Black Young Guns, number 36, Samuel Stonestreet for the Sharks. Jack Whiten, parallel for the Rabbitohs. New recruit John Bateman for the Cowboys. Blues in the Masters Series. Daniel Saifiti, parallel for Dolphins. In the reps, Angus Crichton. Vegas, Nathan Cleary for Panthers. Parallel, Joe Offengawi for the Eels. A Ruby Mojo, Keanu Kinney for the Titans, number 16. Storm parallel checklist. New recruit Zach Lomax for the Eels. Jaden Sewer parallel for the Dragons. Marquee Ruben Cotter for the Cowboys. Dally M Zach Lomax for the Dragons. Keanu Kinney parallel for the Titans. New recruit Jamie Humphries for the Rabbitohs. White Young Guns Liam Eason for the Sharks, 196. Ethan Strange parallel for the Raiders. Dally M Abby Church for the Eels. Sandon Smith parallel for the Roosters. New recruit Asaya Papali'i for Panthers. 3 packets left for our 4th box. Kalen Ponga in the reps. In the reps, Julia Robinson for the Jillaroos. Lucky last for box number 4. Pink Diamond, Tegan Berry for the Dragons. Number 3. Nice Lowe. Sanoa Taruva, parallel for Tigers. Alright, let's load these up. In the reps, Bree Chester. Marquee Zach Lomax for the Eels. The Hammer parallel for Dolphins. New recruit Chad Townsend for the Roosters. Emerald Mojo Corey Horsburgh for the Raiders, 11 of 11. Dylan Edwards parallel for Panthers. New recruit Carter Gordon for the Titans. Pink Diamond, friend Seska Goldthorpe for the Cowboys. Number 4. Ruben Garrick, parallel for Manly. Marquee Keezy Apps for the Tigers. Just making up for the last few bad breaks. Couple of hits in there. New recruit Shabaski for the Broncos. Vegas Isabel Kelly for the Gillaroos. Campbell Graham parallel for the Rabbitohs. In the reps, Taryn Aiken for Gillaroos. Vegas, Paul Alamotti for the Panthers. Jackson Purdue, parallel for Cowboys. You recruit Asaya Papaliki for Panthers. In the Blues for the Masters Series, James Tedesco, parallel for Roosters. In the reps, Zach Lomax. Harry Grant, parallel for the Storm. Team League Sensations, number 15 for the Knights. Craig Milson with the Raz win. Congratulations. Nice. Bronson Sherry, parallel for the Bulldogs. New recruit Clinton Gutherson for the Dragons. Ruby Mojo. Xavier Coates for the Storm. Number 10. James Fisher-Harris, parallel for the Warriors. Marquee Tommy Dearden for the Cowboys. Yasmin Clydesdale, Dally M for the Knights. Jack Williams, parallel for the Eels. In the reps, Hammer. 3 packets left for box number 5. Looks like a nice sig on the team. Congrats. Which I didn't take much notice, to be honest, Peter. James Tedesco, Dally M for the Roosters. Payne Haas, parallel for the Broncos. That was a bit quiet in chat, so I've been concentrating on just getting through them and getting it done. New recruit Ethan Sanders for the Raiders. White Young Guns, Blaze Talagi for Panthers, number 186. Sharks parallel checklist. And that is box 5 done and dusted. Box number 6. In the reps, Olivia Koenig. Marquee DCE for Manly. Zach Lomax, parallel for the Eels. New recruit, Aaron Clark for the Warriors. Black Young Guns, 154. Jack Howard for the Storm. Tommy Dearden, parallel for the Cowboys. Marquee, Ali Brigginshaw for the Broncos. New recruit, Carl Lawton for the Cowboys. Vegas, Dylan Edwards for Panthers. Dolphins parallel checklist. Vegas, Corey Horsburgh for the Raiders. Roosters parallel checklist. New recruit, Hohepa for the Sharks. In the Masters series for the Knights, Xavier Coates, parallel for Storm. Daly Cherry Evans in the reps. Tyrell Sloan in the Dragons. Ruby Mojo, Roosters checklist, number 49. Ali parallel for the Warriors. New recruit, Jazz Tavega for Manly. Pink Diamond, Samima Torfa for the Raiders, number 56. Reece Walsh, parallel for the Broncos. Marquee Bradman Best for the Knights. Daly M. Harry Grant for Storm. Kale Iro parallel for the Sharks. New recruit Cooley Kefu for the Dolphins. Daly M. Millie Elliott for the Roosters. Reed Marnie parallel for the Bulldogs. In the reps, Keezy Apps for the Gillaroos. New recruit, Sanua Taruva for Tigers. 3 packets left for box number 6. White Young Guns, Lehe Hopawate for Manly, 125. Parallel, Isaac Tago for Panthers. In the reps, Connor Watson. Last packet for box number 6. Golden Marquee, Tiana Penatani for the Sharks. Number 3. And Hamoli Olaka-Atu parallel for Manly. Alright, halfway through the break. Let's get into box number 7. Vegas, Hudson Young for the Raiders. Adam Reynolds, parallel for the Broncos. In the reps, Jack Whiten. And our BD, we have already hit him in one of the others. Number 4, Isaac Tago for Panthers. Pretty sure it's a mojo we hit. Marky Mark, parallel for the Roosters. New recruit Adam Fanua Blake for the Sharks. In the reps, Patrick Carrigan. Marquee Dallin Watine Zalesniak for the Warriors. Adam Pompey, parallel for the Warriors. Golden Marquee, James Tedesco for the Roosters, number 89. Jerome Hughes, parallel for Storm. Marquee Stephen Crichton for the Bulldogs. New recruit Daniel Saifiti for the Dolphins. Dally M. Casey Array for the Dragons. Bulldogs parallel checklist. Vegas Blake Brayley for the Sharks. Dragons parallel checklist. New recruit Stefano Utskamanu for the Storm. Knights in the Masters Series. Bo Fermor parallel for Titans. In the reps, Zali Faye. Parallel Jamal Fogarty for the Raiders. New recruit Jerome Lowe for the Tigers. Golden Age. Number 28 for the Panthers. Panthers not doing too bad. Someone mentioned Raiders making up for bad breaks. Well, Panthers haven't had the best run at times either, these breaks, so maybe they're making up. Isaiah Yo, parallel for Panthers. Marquee, Kirby Farmworth for the Dolphins. Who was it? NASCAR, Josh. Mentioned Raiders were doing well, making up for past breaks. Nico Hines, Dally M for the Sharks. Luke Brooks, parallel for Manly. In the reps, Ivania Palit. Ruby Mojo. Number 16, Max Platt for the Dolphins. Hope you picked the USA box of the Sharks Vegas booklet. Just for you, Lee, I hope so too, mate. But in my defense, I don't think I put these ones there. I think Dad put these ones there. Jesse Ramian, parallel for the Sharks. New recruit James Fisher-Harris for the Warriors. So if you hit one, you're a bloody legend. You deserve it. Congratulations. If you don't, we'll blame Dad. White Young Guns, Asaya Ayongi for the Eels, number 191. Scott Drinkwater, parallel for the Cowboys. Last packet for box at number 7. New recruit for Manly. White Young Guns, Oren Keeley for the Dolphins. Number 45. Jack Cogger, parallel for the Knights. Reece Welsh in the reps. Sapphire Mojo, Jack Howard for the Storm. Number 15. Cody Walker, parallel for the Rabbitohs. New recruit Carl Lawton for the Cowboys. Marquee Jesse Southwell for the Knights. Cameron Munster, parallel for Storm. Herbie Farnworth, parallel for Dolphins. Marquee James Tedesco for the Roosters. Vegas Ethan Strange for Raiders. Adokar, parallel for the Eels. New recruit Kuli Kefu for the Dolphins. In the Blues for the Masters Series, Matt Barton, parallel for the Bulldogs. In the reps, Tamika Upton for the Jillaroos. Wade Egan, parallel for the Warriors. New recruit Lewis Dodd for the Rabbitohs. A Golden Age, number 19 for the Dragons. Warren's probably already got a couple of these. Big Papa, parallel for the Raiders. Was hoping for the Jamie Chapman Pink Diamond for the Ellis. Hey mate, don't give up. Don't give up just yet. Still 4 and a bit boxes to go. Marquee Payne Haas for the Broncos. In the reps, Lily Ann White. Ruby Mojo, Wade Egan for the Warriors, number 19. Titans parallel checklist. Liam Martin, Vegas for Panthers. Damien Cook, parallel for the Dragons. New recruit, Younie for the Eels. Willy Wonka as well. Ooh. Not gonna lie, I'm hoping for similar, but not quite the Wonka. I'm hoping for the one-on-ones. I haven't seen one yet. And Fanua Blake Dalian for the Warriors. I mean, I haven't pulled one yet this series. Terrell May parallel for the Tigers. Seen a couple of pictures of the couple. I think there's only 2, maybe 3 that have come out of the one-on-ones. The golden tickets were up to 8, I think, maybe 9. I can't remember actually. I haven't looked for a little while. Marcelo Montoya, new recruit for the Bulldogs. New recruit Blaze Talagi for Panthers. Dally M. Julia Robinson for the Broncos. Connor Watson parallel for the Roosters. And last pack for box number 8. In the reps, Tommy Turbo. Box number 9. 4th last box of the break. 2nd last box in the case. Samai Matorfa in the reps for the Jillaroos. Marquee Latrell Mitchell for the Rabbitohs. Nathan Cleary parallel for Panthers. That's it, Peter. New recruit Lewis Dodd for the Rabbitohs. Sapphire Mojo. Number 14, Marcelo Montoya for the Bulldogs. Matthew Tomoko parallel for the Raiders. Marquee Nathan Cleary for Panthers. A golden marquee Cameron Munster for Storm number 25. Adam Dewey parallel for the Tigers. Dally M. Kimberly Hunt for the Dragons. Ronaldo Mulatalo parallel for the Sharks. New recruit Marcelo Montoya for the Bulldogs. In the Masters series for the Blues. Jacob Saifiti parallel for the Knights. New recruit Matty Nicholson for the Raiders. In the reps, Dane Gagai. Vegas, Jessica Surgis. Jamie Humphries, parallel for the Rabbitohs. Shannon Mato in the reps. White League Sensations, number 39. For the Dolphins, Herbie Farmworth. He's got Dolphins, Jack Muller. Cowboys parallel checklist. New recruit, Blaze Talagi for Panthers. Ruby Mojo, Nico Hines for the Sharks, number 53. Spencer Lenu, parallel for the Roosters. Marquee, Angus Crichton for the Roosters. Dally M, Stephen Crichton for the Bulldogs. Will Warbrick, parallel for Storm. New recruit, Isaiah Iongi for the Eels. New recruit, Regan Campbell-Gillard for the Titans. 4 packets left. Vegas, Jackson Ford for the Warriors. Tommy Turbo, parallel for Manly. White Young Guns, Marky Mark for the Roosters, 185. Lachlan Ellis, parallel for the Dragons. 2 packets left for box number 9. In the reps, Cameron Murray. Parallel, Big Tino for Titans. Alright. Box number 9 done and dusted. Let's get these out of the way. Box number 10. No patch. So pretty confident we will get a patch one way or the other. Might not be the type of patch we're hoping for, but you know. Let's go. White Young Guns, Sione Fanau for the Dragons, number 32. Eels parallel checklist. In the reps, Ali Brigginshaw for the Jillaroos. Sapphire Mojo, Angus Crichton for the Roosters, number 11. Salami Kickout, parallel for the Bulldogs. Dally M, Tiana Penatani for the Sharks. David Fafita, parallel for Titans. In the reps, Quincy Dodd. Marquee, Cameron Munster for Storm. Xavier Savage, parallel for the Raiders. New recruit, Clinton Gutherson for the Dragons. Vegas, Roger Tuivasa Sheck for the Warriors. Parallel, Roger Tuivasa Sheck for the Warriors. How about that? Marquee, Clinton Gutherson for the Dragons. New recruit, Lazarus for the Storm. And our patch for today, number 98, Jaden Brayley for the Knights. Craig Milson with the Raz win again. How about that? Selwyn Cobbo, parallel for the Broncos. New recruit, Ethan Sanders for the Raiders. Kangaroos in the Masters Series. Braden Trindle, parallel for the Sharks. In the reps, Harry Grant. Paul Alamotti, parallel for Panthers. Ruby Mojo, Joe Oppengawi for the Eels, number 17. Leo Thompson, parallel for the Knights. New recruit, Shabaski for the Broncos. Who's got it? Who's got it? Jack, congrats, mate. Number 58 in the Storm duo. Haven't seen one for a while. Tyrone Munro, parallel for the Rabbitohs. Marquee, Tiana Penatani for the Sharks. Reps, Jamie Chapman. Dally M, Angus Crichton for the Roosters. Whoops, Max Plath, parallel for Dolphins. 3 packets left for the case. New recruit, Chad Townsend for the Roosters. New recruit, Matt Arthur for the Knights. Vegas, Braden Trindle for the Sharks, and Dream Buller, parallel for the Tigers. Alright, let's go, let's go. Here goes our Vegas box. Lee Marschall has his fingers crossed for his Sharks Vegas booklet. Julia Robinson, Dally M for the Broncos. Nathan Cleary, parallel for Panthers. In the reps, Quincy Dodd. Marquee, Tegan Berry for the Dragons. Tommy Turbo, parallel for Manly. New recruit, Sanua Taruva for Tigers. Vegas, Ethan Strange for the Raiders. Cowboys parallel checklist. BD, number 4. Matty Burton for the Bulldogs. Not a bad save for the Bulldogs there. Matthew Tomoko, parallel for the Raiders. And our super boot, number 16, Nick Meaney for the Storm. New recruit, Lazarus for the Storm. Golden Marquee, Big Tino for Titans, number 20. Adam Dewey, parallel for the Tigers. In the reps, Jamie Chapman. Ruby Mojo, Keanu Kinney for the Titans, number 38. Spencer Alenu, parallel for the Roosters. New recruit, Aaron Clark for the Warriors. Black Young Gun, and guess what? It's not one we've already got. How about that? Number 98, Lachlan Galvin for the Tigers. I do find it funny though, you have a BD and a Black Young Gun in the same box. Will Warbrick, parallel for Storm. But if you notice, in box number 10, we hit the Knights patch and the Storm duo. So, Marquee, Kalen Ponga for the Knights. Dally M. Adam Funel Blake for the Warriors. Lachlan Ellis parallel for the Dragons. In the reps, Harry Grant. Stars and Stripes, number 47 for the Panthers. Dolphins parallel checklist. Marquee Reece Walsh for the Broncos. Vegas and Fanua Blake for the Sharks. Jacob Saifiti parallel for the Knights. New recruit Matt Arthur for the Knights. In the Masters Series for the Knights, Jamie Humphries parallel for the Rabbitohs. Stars and Stripes for Storm, number 16. New recruit Hohepa for the Sharks. 3 packets left for our USA box. White Young Guns, Tony Francis for the Titans, number 22. Big Tino parallel for the Titans. In the reps, Ali Briganshaw for the Gillaroos. Alright, last packet from the USA. New recruit, Jazz Tavega for Manly. Leaving only our priority to go. So, let's get into it. New recruit Carter Gordon for the Titans. Dally M. Herbie Farmworth for the Dolphins. Scott Drinkwater parallel for the Cowboys. In the reps, Isaiah Yo. Priority Marquee, Liam Martin for Panthers, number 37. Marky Mark, parallel for the Roosters. White League Sensations. Thinking about signatures, this one isn't too bad either. Ben Hunt for the Broncos, number 33. That's actually the first numbered hit for Broncos. Oh no, we got the case card, that's right. Connor Tracy, parallel for the Bulldogs. New recruit, Asaya Papali'i for Panthers. Vegas and Fanua Blake for Sharks. Jerome Hughes, parallel for Storm. In the reps, Pang Huss. Pink Diamond, Avania Polite for the Titans, number 60. Dragons parallel checklist. New recruit, Zach Lomax for the Eels. In the reps, Jesse Arthurs. Vegas, Chanel Harris Tavita for the Warriors. Bo Fermor, parallel for the Titans. Priority Marquee, Teddy for the Roosters, number 34. Daly M. Tommy Dearden for the Cowboys, parallel Jamal Fogarty for the Raiders. New recruit, Jamie Humphries for the Rabbitohs. Priority Young Guns, number 11, Jack Howarth for the Storm. Parallel Happy for the Tigers. Golden Marquee, Joseph Tarpanay for the Raiders, number 4. Jermaine Isako, parallel for Dolphins. New recruit, John Bateman for the Cowboys. Kangaroos in the Masters Series. Junior Paulo, parallel for the Eels. In the reps, Kira Dibb. 4 packets left for the break. Parallel Fletcher Sharp for the Knights. New recruit, Saitili Tupanua for the Bulldogs. Ruby Mojo, Sebastian Chris for the Raiders, number 38. Matangi for the Rabbitohs. And last pack, priority marquee, number 5, Abby Church for the Eels. So, to finish up, we have 2 randomizations today. Unfortunately, no signatures included. We have our Gillaroos cards and our 12 Master Series cards. So, let's flick over and get that one done. Alright, 3 times round the merry-go-round for the Gillaroos cards. Number 1, number 2, and lucky last, number 3. Did that go? Come on. It's loading. It's loading. John Saade with the Bulldogs. Alright, let's refresh. Am I lucky? Yes. Look at that. Team list copied and pasted. Here we go for the Master Series cards. Number 1, number 2, and lucky last, number 3. Peter Lowe with the Rabbitohs. Congratulations. Thank you to everyone for being a part of it. And hopefully see you again soon.